Hello, hello. This is Cece coming to you again today. Um, I am coming from my home and doing a new typing, a series of typing. We're going to continue with Amy Moore's book, 13 Things Mentally Strong Women Do Not Do. Now, our next chapter is involved with that they don't see vulnerability as a weakness. Now, we all as women feel in some area in our life that we are vulnerable. Some facet of our life, we have vulnerability about something. Now, in the life cycle of a woman, they're taught not to show that vulnerability, but rather to put up a wall and to make sure that that vulnerability has been compartmentalized and put away so that no one else can touch it. Nobody knows. No one will be aware of what it is that makes this person weak. Now, in the ideal and concept of the workplace, women are often thought as being very vulnerable, being the type of person in which people will target in order to make their way better or to get themselves promoted. And they use the fact that she's a female in order to do that. So for us to show any vulnerability to men is we're showing weakness. And we don't want to do that, right, girls? We don't want to do that. Definitely not. Because no self-respecting woman wants to be thought of as weak. And that's basically it. You just don't want to be thought of as weak. Women are judged more harshly for being emotional. Okay. So if we, it's different, okay? If we in the workplace raise our voice or are forceful in something that we are displaying, we are thought of as being over emotional. And this is not anything new that I'm covering today at all, okay? Because, men, they raise their voice and it's a sign of strength. It's a double standard here for us. And it has been for such a long time. But the younger people, younger young women, don't seem to understand that the social norm can be broken. Yes, it can be broken, but it still remains there. And be aware that there are some people you're going to come across that are going to play that card. And you need to know how to deal with them. So, as I was saying, women are judged harshly for being emotional. If you were to raise your voice in a meeting, you'll be thought of, oh, she's just getting emotional. When they say that we're emotional, they tell people that we are unstable. They're unstable. They're too hormonal. They need to be housewives because they just can't take the world of employment and being out there with the good old boys. Is that true? Hell no, that's not true. That is definitely not true. What we do is that we put on a tough exterior to prevent meaningful connections. This is something that we do. We put up tough exteriors, our walls, okay, to prevent meaningful connections. We miss out as women on being able to network with other people, be it a woman or a man that's the head of this part or that part, that can propel us into success. We build walls around ourselves because we're in this ideal that I don't want anyone to know that I am vulnerable. I don't want anyone to know where my chink is in my armor. You know, if you got a little cut in your armor and they're trying to cut you down with a sword and knock you out, you don't want them to know where that chink in that armor is because that's where you're vulnerable at. So it prevents us from making those connections. And those connections can be either social, job, work environment, or in your family. If you're not willing to open up, then those walls that you built will keep you from doing the things that you would want to do and that you like to do. I'm quite sure many people and many women know that there's some things that you really miss doing, you know, or there are some things that your job can offer you and you really want to do that portion of your job, but because you feel like you'll be vulnerable and they will see that vulnerability, you don't try. You don't even try. Prime example. Okay, let's take ourselves back to high school. When you were in high school, they had the cool kids, the pretty girls, the nerds, the black sheep, all kinds of different kind of people, and they were cliques. Today it's the same way. High school students are dealing with the same doggone thing. It's just another year, another day, another class. Okay? But my point is this. It's just like going out for cheerleader. Okay? If you know that you're a good gymnast and you've got everything going for you to become a cheerleader, if you feel vulnerable that you're afraid to make a mistake or you're afraid of failure, then you'll never go out for cheerleading. You'll sit there on the sidelines and watch them try out for cheerleading. And if you do go out for cheerleader and don't make it, you say, "Oh, I'm never going to be good enough," and you don't try again the next year. There's nothing wrong with failing or feeling vulnerable and getting up and dusting yourself off and trying again. That's what you gotta do, ladies. That's what you need to do. You can be self-empowered to take this ideal that you are vulnerable, that you're emotional, that you won't try again, that they can say the good old boys are gonna win, and you can take your energy and force to become dynamic and to knock all those beliefs out of the way. So I was using it as an example. Now, in addition to that, we are more prone as women to think that our mindset, will keep us in a stuck position. Often we say to ourselves, "Oh, I'm in such a rut. I'm in such a rut in my family. Lord knows, my husband, and blah, blah, blah. I'm in a rut. I'm not in love with him anymore. I need more. I want adventure. I want to go on vacation." And you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. But you won't speak up and say something to your husband because you feel that that would make you look weak. In the workplace, you've been doing this job, the same job, for 10 to 15 years, and you have not been promoted, and you feel like you're stuck in a rut again, but this time it's in the workplace. Ladies, this is where we have to take the risk. Men are so jump, ready to take a risk to increase their value. But we, as women, sit back and say, okay, well, I'll wait and it'll come around and be my turn. Or, well, I keep my head down, do my job, then they'll see that I'm working hard and I'll get promoted. Do you get promoted? No, you don't. You don't get promoted. You get overlooked. You get overlooked and they treat you like you are not worth your worth and gold. And I know that you're worth something. All of us are worth something. We are creators. We are magnificent, informative, educated women that just need a little push. Now, also, you can get stuck in a rut in your social life. Now, when I talk about in your social life, I'm talking about the ideal that we had a moment ago about networking. Now, you can be in a rut with your social life that you have been friends with this person or that person since high school, since elementary, and you have not moved on to meet new people and to make new relationships, new networking relationships, increasing your information as far as learning different things and meeting new people. That will make you stuck in a rut in your social life. So, what do we do about it? Tell your own story, right? Well, let me tell you my story. My story is this, is that I spent 16 years in the military and I loved my job like crazy. I was one of them people that had a head down and would just do my job, and that's all it was. I often ran across people that were my coworkers. I would say, why are you giving 100% to this job? They don't give a damn about you. And see, their ideal of going to work would be to have their feet up on a desk and looking at a magazine when there was something that they need to get done. And for me, that was a no-no. I like to get my stuff done, have it done on the right time. I am definitely a perfectionist. And I try so hard to make everything perfect. If it's not perfect, I will do it again until it's right. So I'm sharing with you my own story. Now, being like that was my vulnerability. I got overlooked for promotions because I was a yes girl. I was a very pleasant young lady that was in the military, and I wanted to please all my commanders that were over me, and I did exactly what they wanted me to do, exactly just as quickly as I possibly could, and efficiently as I possibly could. But that didn't get me anywhere. So that's my story. I was stuck in a rut. I was a divorcee, stuck in a rut, got a divorce. Okay? Then, talking about my career, stuck in a rut because I'm not being promoted and I'm giving all this energy to this job. Stuck in a rut. Socially, I'm stuck in a rut. Now, because I am a divorcee, I have the responsibility of my child. And in my mind, how I was raised, if you have a child, that needs to be your number one priority if you're a single parent. You need to take care of your children, make sure they have everything that they need. They have clothes on their backs, they have shoes on their feet, they have food in their stomach, a roof over their head. Now, if that sounds like old-timey, old-fashioned, yeah, it might be, but that's where I was. I didn't have a social life. I was stuck. And it's not to say that being a single parent is lessened. No, I think that as a single parent, we are we give a lot more We work a lot more harder. And it's not looking down on single parents. I would rather lift you up and say, damn, girl, you're doing so good. You're making it. You know what? You may have had a man that says, oh, you're not going to make it without me. That's a lie. Look at you now. You got a job. You got your own house. You got your own car. You done left him far behind you. But that right there is the social aspect of it. You don't get a chance to do the networking or making friends in new places and stuff like that. You just kind of get stuck. And then your family. God forbid, your family. They look at you and they say, from my personal experience is that they look at you and say, oh, you got a divorce. Well, something must have been wrong with you. Well, you're less than this and you're less than that. And you know, it takes a toll on a person's spirit. It takes a toll on a person's image or what they think that they look like and what they feel. Because sometimes, ladies, families can be the first doggone thing to drag you down in the mud. I'm here to tell you, you tell them, look, get out of my business, you oxygen thief. I ain't got time for your mess. Until you can correct your behavior, don't say nothing to me. And there's nothing wrong with you stepping away from your family if they are very negative. If they're giving you negative vibes, then yes, please do. Step away from those people. Let them go to the wayside until they can come to you correct. Are we conscious of our vulnerabilities? Well, if you have any fears in your life, then yeah, you're conscious of your vulnerabilities. And those vulnerabilities can hit you like somebody's just stuck you in the stomach. Like they stabbed you in the stomach or hit you in the stomach. I mean, if you have a fear and it twirls itself around and it becomes your vulnerability, yes, it can hurt. Yes, it can stun us. But it doesn't have to hurt and stun us forever. Well, ladies, I've talked all about this entire chapter for today. I'm hoping that everybody's doing well. And I'm coming from a different look today because things are going on downstairs in my house. But I want to let you know and remind you, okay? I want you to do this again. I want you to kiss the ones that you love and let them know you love them. Hug and kiss and hold those children, if you got babies, so tight and let them know how important they are and that you love them. Why? Because today is just today and we are not promised tomorrow. So therefore, we need to make our memories today so that our legacy will live on. I thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next chat. Take care, people.